That's the really interesting thing with you is because this last 12 to 18 months, you've been extremely busy despite the fact that you can't tour. What is this story about? Obviously, you're producing a lot of stuff now with Lord and St. Vincent and Taylor and all the rest. What is this story that Taylor was really the first person to say, no, like I want Jack to produce. No one saw you as a producer, which saying that sentence out loud in 2021 just sounds ridiculous. What was the mindset back then?
Well, there's certain things, if you're a songwriter, you write songs, and that doesn't matter if people like them or not. You write songs, and your songs are the proof of life. If you're a performer, you could probably find a place to perform, an open mic night. You can go and play some shitty place and no one comes. And it doesn't matter if you're in an arena or some tiny place and no one gives a shit. You are literally performing. You are doing the act that gives you life, right? But if you're a producer, you kind of need someone to let you into the room, because I was always producing my records and stuff like that. But that's sort of, it's weird. It's seen in a different way. It's seen as sort of like, oh, you're just making your own stuff, This real sort of core of what it means to work with someone and produce records, you kind of need them for proof of life. Otherwise, it's a little bit of a delusion. Kind of like an actor with no play or movie to be in. Like, obviously you can run lines, but like you need some of these structures. So I was, kind of recognized as an artist, and then started to get kind of known as a songwriter, whether people liked it or not, and I could find some people collaborate here and there. But I always loved, I've always been a producer. I always would produce everything, and then it would just get handed off to someone. It was just this kind of heartbreaking moment after I would collaborate with someone where it's just, people be like, oh, I love the way it sounds, but it just, all the people want to go with this person or that person. It's funny, now I see it from the other end. And I did a song called Out of the Woods with Taylor, and I worked my ass off on it, and I loved it. And I remember one day she was like, great, it's going to come out on this day. And I was just kind of waiting for someone to be like, and this big shot's going to produce it. And that says everything about her. And that says everything about where she's at and why she's there. Is she's in conversation with no one but her gut feeling. And obviously when that came out, it was the thing that people kind of needed to see on the resume when I said, hey, I can produce this song that I worked on. It went from, well, who are you, to sure, if you did that, you're good. And look, it's not cynical. It's, I could see her and be like, oh, fuck those herbs who didn't believe in me. But it's not that. It's, industries of art are weird. There's all this money flying around, and no one even knows what's going to work or not work. It's sort of all based on feeling. So everyone, especially on that side of it, is trying to just be like, well, what has that person done? Can we trust them? And you get a lot of people who don't have a heavy gut feeling about the actual work.
Yeah. Without stroking your own ego, when Taylor had that conversation with you, she's like, great, we're going to put the song out now. And you're like, oh shit, this is my chance. Did that scare you a little bit? Or were you like, finally, someone's giving me a go at this?
No, I loved what I was doing, and I wouldn't have done it otherwise. I loved the way it sounded, the feeling, the emotion behind it. I mean, there's certain things you pick up along the way, but at the end of the day, it's like you're just trying to capture something. No, I always, not in an egotistical way, but I just, you make things that you want to hear out there. I didn't say it. Someone said it a long time ago, but like, if that's sort of the highest level of making work. You don't do something you heard already. You don't do something that you think you should do. You have a feeling that you wish there was this thing out there. And what is that thing? Well, it's how you sound. It's the thing inside you. And then you make that, and then you love it because you did it and because you hopefully got it right. If you don't love it, you either let some bad voices in along the way and fucked it up, or you're dealing with some self-hatred, but you kind of got to like put all that aside. If you make the thing that really touches you, then you kind of can't go wrong. And it's not an ego thing, but oh yeah, of course I loved it. I would just listen to it and love it and think, man, I wish this was what was on the radio. I wish this was over here. I wish this what I was hearing at the concert hall. I wish, that's why I make things.
Yeah. It feels like Folklore and Evermore really captured a moment in time and you three really tapped into something there. Do you think that's something that's going to continue moving forward? Were those albums what they were, and that's kind of just moved to the side now?
Oh, you can't. No, I mean, you can make plans, work on things forever, but there comes a point in any album making process where you actually start to see it, and that's when it's happening. But I also I kind of only like to talk about things that have happened, especially if it's my work with other artists, because it's really for them to